I'm Lance Corporal Clayton Filipovich from the Corps Report, and I'm here with the gear. And I'm at Fort Devon Army Base, and I'm about to learn about this beast. Now I'm joined by Kevin Blankensporen. Sir, can you tell me exactly what you do here and what we're looking at?
Sure, Clayton. This is the Legged Squad Support System, shortly known as LS3, and I'm the Chief Engineer on the LS3 project. And what you're basically looking at is a robotic pack mule. So the real goal for this machine is to go where the dismounted warfighter goes and to help carry their load.
So how does this stand up to like mountains, rivers, different terrain?
Yeah, that's a great question, and this is really why we developed this machine, is so that it would be all terrain. So we've tested stream crossings, we've gone to the mountains in 29 Palms, California. We've tested a lot of East Coast woods and mountains, so we really are trying to go to as many different terrains as we can and push the mobility and the autonomy of the machine so it can keep up with the warfighter.
So I'm really excited to actually see this thing in action. So can you gear up and give me a demo?
Yeah, let's take it for a walk.
All right, great, let's do it. So what can you tell me about the different functions and modes that this machine has?
Well, it's a good time to ask because we're in one of them right now. So this is a leader follow mode. And this is kind of the bread and butter for how LS3 is really going to operate. The idea is that, you can see I'm not really distracted by the robot right now. We're able to have a conversation, or I could be doing something else. But effectively, the robot's following the stripes on my backpack and using me as a guide for working through the terrain. If you get in a tight pinch, you can also directly control it with a joystick. And then we have a fully autonomous mode, which is go to waypoint. So you can tell the robot, go 100 meters that way, and the robot, without any driver or leader, will autonomously work its way to that goal point.
So how could this be effective for Marines?
Well, the main idea for Marines right now is as an offloading capability. Dismounted Marines typically carry around 100 pounds of gear between body armor, backpack, food, water, ammo. And the idea is for us to get that off the warfighter and really improve the warfighter's mobility, reduce injury rates, and generally improve their capabilities. So, ideally you could take a lot of the equipment that the warfighters carry through long foot patrols and put it on the robot and have it carry the gear for them.
The LS3 is still in development stages to make it more suitable for Marines. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next installment of With the Gear.
It has 4 legs, eyes, and a body built to carry, with the ability to go wherever men can. The legged squad support system is the new solution for overburdened troops who carry nearly 100 pounds of survival and protection gear in the field.
Dismounted squads like to move under cover and concealment. They do not want to move on roads. That tells you right away that if you're going to have a robotic platform, it must be able to go over logs, through streams.
The Commandant of the Marine Corps, General James Amos, and Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency Director, Arati Prabhakar, saw a demonstration of the system at Joint Base Myer-Henderson Hall, Virginia, and learned about the 24-month initiative designed to refine and enhance the program.
Now that you've got a capable platform, it's now taking the sensors, making them much more effective. They're already effective, but taking it to a new level so that not only it can perceive the world around it better, but it can interact with the Marines better. So that's what you're going to see over the next 24 months is how do you make it more effective in the hands of those Marines out in the field.
Once complete, this beast of burden could take the load off troops, allowing them to focus on their mission.
So everything we do, we endeavor to lighten the load, but where LS3 is particularly effective in that regard is the fact that it takes equipment directly off that Marine's back, whether it be mortar base plates, whether it be ammunition, spare ammunition, whether it be packs, a lot of different areas.
Corporal Christopher Baines, reporting from Joint Base Myer-Henderson Hall, Virginia.
Out to about 5 meters, give you a much more detailed view of the world, for the terrain that's nearby. All of those cameras work day or night. They're all illuminated.
Same controller could be used to control a UAV. Someone help me on what all the other things are.
The UGV, sir, we use this with a Gus as well.
Points that the laser sees off the world all around the robot. We have to put enough smarts into this robot so that it can create a path through complex terrain while tracking the squad leader and other members of the squad that may be weaving in and out as they're conducting their tactical operation. That's day and night.
Brigadier General Mark Wise. I'm the Commanding General of the Marine Corps Warfighting Laboratory, also the Vice Chief of Naval Research. Well, it's a partnership with DARPA. LS3 represents one of several lighten the load type of activities that we do. It's important to note that the Marine Corps looks at lighten the load is a result. It's something we snap back to. So the Marine Corps looks at what is it we want to be able to do, in this case distributed operations. How do we have to organize? How do we have to change the way we do things? And then ultimately, what technologies enable that capability? So that's where the LS3 fits in. So everything we do, we endeavor to lighten the load, but where LS3 is particularly effective in that regard is the fact that it takes equipment directly off that Marine's back, whether it be mortar base plates, whether it be ammunition, spare ammunition, whether it be packs, a lot of different areas. And so we attack it from a bunch of different angles, but LS3 is a significant enabling capability is really making great progress. Well, ultimately, absolutely, because obviously we train like we fight. If we're able to fight differently because we're able to lighten the load, and it's not necessarily that it's just fighting differently, it's fighting more effectively. Because if you look at the fatigue factor, imagine being in Afghanistan in the heat of the summer. So you've got significant vertical terrain, you've got a lot of heat, weight that the Marine is carrying from a protective standpoint, and the ammunition he has to have on his body. You can imagine the fatigue starts to pick up rapidly. Now you put on, a 100-pound pack, and you put on other pieces of equipment, and you really start to fatigue him quickly. How does that affect his aim? How does that affect his ability to relate with the local population and to gain support? It's a little bit about attitude, and it's about capability. So when you can lighten the load and allow him to become more effective with regards to how he performs, then in some ways you could say that that's not necessarily changing the way he trains, it's making him more effective as a trained Marine. So it does both, I guess.
Today, it takes 5 or 6 Marines to get somebody wounded off the battlefield. With something like this, you could do it with 1, and that keeps more Marines in the fight.
We are testing out the LS3. It's a robotic mule. It's real easy to control, real easy to understand, and it's a whole lot of fun. You can pretty much teach anybody in the military to use it.
Walking through just simple patrol maneuvers with the machine to see what its limits are and where it makes most sense for it to be when the squad is on patrol. Experimentation phase is in full swing right now. Then we'll come back and we'll look at all the data. We'll get the feedback from all the Marines on how they feel it can support them best, and then we'll look at what it needs to look like, what right looks like at the end of the day for a legged support system that's autonomous. We ultimately wanted to support Marines in the field. We ultimately wanted to get some of the load off their backs.
The system was really good. It's a great idea, and I'm glad that they're coming out with it. It just shows that the Marine Corps is changing, times are changing the next 15, 20 years. Stuff like this should be everywhere in the military.